Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Recon here. We have more Girls X Battle 2 for you guys. And today we're going to be covering Mika. Mika is a human and a warrior, and she recently came out about 3 weeks ago. She's doing actually very well. We're going to cover her attributes, gears, limit breaks, and we'll get into some fights at the end of the video. And we'll kind of just cover if she's good or not. Yes, she is not food. I'm just going to say that right now. You do not get rid of her. If you have her, you can build her to LB5. She's totally worth it. She's totally good. She's not the best in the meta, but she's still very, very good, and there's no reason to food her off to anybody else. Alrighty, and before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to say if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Your support is really appreciated. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, now, we're going to start with our active, guys. Active is going to attack twice against backline enemies. Backline enemies first. Now, if there's no backline enemies, obviously she's going to attack the front line, so just remember that. Alright, so each attack deals 420% of attack damage, therefore has a 50%. Thereafter has a 50% chance to taunt each target for 2 rounds. Increases own damage depletion by 20% for 2 rounds. So after she does both of her attacks, she has a 50% chance to target the backline to taunt them. So it's a 50-50 chance. And then she'll increase her damage depletion by 20%, which is great because whenever she taunts them and then she's taking the damage, she's damage depleting them essentially. Alrighty, and then her taunt is control effect, attack target. The target of girls that are taunted will be aimed at Mika. Team damage included. That means like Neff's passive or Fenrir's passive. If Fenrir is taunted, the passive that targets the team will target Mika instead because she's taunted. And when she's taunted, it forces the girl to target Mika with the damage, if that makes sense. Alright, next up we have our first passive. So armor increases by 30%, which is great. Armor's through the roof. HP increases by 40%, attack increases by 25%, control immunity increases by 30%, and she starts the battle. She starts the fight with energy increased by 50 at the start of the battle. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Sorry, tongue twisted for myself. So she starts off at 100 energy when the fight starts. So you don't have to run things like fake crystal on her. You can run plenty of other antiques. So that's great. All right, next passive. When dealing a basic attack, restore own 100% of attack HP for 2 rounds. When attacked, steals 20% from the attacker for 2 rounds. It has 30% chance to taunt the attacker for 2 rounds. So, when she deals basic, she restores her own HP. And then she steals the attack from the attacker for 2 rounds. It has a 30% chance to taunt the attacker for 2 rounds. So essentially, she's stealing, she's taunting, and she's healing, which is great. Alright, obviously it's the same thing for taunt right there. Last passive, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, at the end of round, self-heals for 3 times. 3 times, and restores own 120% of attack HP each time. And then, starting from the third round, after each round, removes all control effects from self, and increases own 50% of crit damage, and gains Berserk until Mika is defeated. So essentially, after the third round, if let's say she gets stunned, petrified, whatever it may be, it will remove it going into the next round, and she will also have an increased 50% of crit damage, which is great. And then Berserk, active skill or basic attack will deal crit and cannot be blocked. So her basic or active will crit no matter which. So that's great when you're running it. So you can run a crystal with extra crit damage or an antique. So then you're already getting 50% there. You're getting whatever else you put on her. And it's going to automatically crit, and it can't be blocked. So that's great if, let's say, all the front lines left and Fenrir is up front. Fenrir can't block it. She's just going to take the straight damage, which is awesome. Which is great on the back line, too. They can't block it. I mean, obviously, we have damage reduction, damage depletion in the meta, so that takes into factors, but it's still really good. Alrighty. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the gears, and we'll talk about all that stuff, and then we'll go from further on there on limit breaks and fights and stuff. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to do over the gears. Obviously, I have a pink set on here, so not everyone's going to have it on there, but you can do a split set on her, whether you want to try and do an attack, which would be class angel, or you want to just do a speed more with HP. You can do angel, class, essentially. As far as the pink sets go, you can do added protection or veteran. Added protection helps you with get some more reduction in damage, and then obviously the veteran, it's going to remove status effects and heal them back up during the fight. As far as the crystal goes, you can do speed and HP, or you can do crit damage, crit, and attack. Reason being, obviously, at the end of her third round, she boosts her crit damage, and she gains an ability that active or basic will always crit, essentially. So you're getting more crit damage there. Speed and HP wise, you're gonna have to gamble on that essentially. For building a speed one or a tanky version of her, it depends on how many pates are in your server. My cluster and server, there's a decent amount of pates, so I went with the tank version because she's just most likely gonna lose her energy at the beginning of the round. So that's on you to decide on what you want to do specifically for her and building it. If you don't have as many worry about pates and you have Mika, you're running her, you could just go ahead and just do a speed version of her and try and get taunts off quickly because she has energy at the beginning of the first round. So you could try that. If she's just not getting it and she's getting removed by some girl, you might have to switch it up. But that's for you to test on that subject in your personal cluster and server essentially. So as far as the antiques go, you don't have to run fake crystal because she already gets energy. That's great on that news on that. You could try soul destruction. You try chain blade axe. If you want to build a really tanky for some reason, you burning blades. I don't know why you want to do that, but you can. You could also run if you're trying to do, let's say, a speed build. You could run deception on it because you get damage depletion or damage rush. Sorry, HP and then speed on her, and you're trying to do a speed build, but she already has energy. So essentially, she's going really fast. Now, that might work faster than on a pate, but you have to remember excursions out as well. So Yarapata may be still faster because of their excursion level, but you can still try that essentially. That's on you to try. All right, next up, I'm gonna go over to the limit breaks, and then we'll get into a couple fights and try and show a little bit what she can do. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody on my server that has a Mika to do a little comparison one-on-one. No one really got it except for me. My cluster, I think someone else has it, but they're not on my friends list, so I can't do that. But we'll try to showcase and see her get some taunts off and see what she can do. All right, up next up we have limit breaks. Essentially, so it's going to be straightforward. If you want to do the speed build, you're going to do 3-1-3-3-2. That's for the speed if you want to try to do a speed build on her. If you want to do a tankier build, you just do 1-1-3-1-2. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Just one of those two things you can do. That's simple, easy peasy, guys. That's all you got to do. Speed build or tanky build. Just depends on what you got your on your server. You just try that and see what it goes for. Okay, now we're going to get into some fights. We'll see what she can do, and hopefully we can get some good RNG and see how it focuses on bad and good, essentially. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to get some fights. We're going to do Luke and Justin's account. We'll do Justin's first. Justin has 3 nefs. Trying to balance that out a little bit. Trying to hopefully get the Mika to taunt hit all of his nefs on him because he's a lot of nefs. So we're trying to get that to taunt them and take all the damage to Mika to show how that she does that. Hopefully that happens, so we'll see. Guys ready? Let's do this. Kind of similar, not really that much. No Mika on the other side, so we can't really show comparison to sides. No one has one, like I said earlier. But so we got 1 taunt on 1 nef, which is great. So that essentially is going to make it to where your girls can survive a little bit longer. The only issue is, of course, is there's a pate, and it had the chance to remove the energy from the Mika, essentially. So we shouldn't be getting heals at the end of the round because it's past the 3rd round. We should be getting that next extra crit just on the normal attacks. Obviously, it's kind of hard in this meta to get actives off all the time because of the fact that Vivian stripped energy. So we got a nice crit there. No taunt, unfortunately. Everyone went pretty fast because of our pate. Damage from Mika is kind of overshadowed from the other girls in the meta. So, but she still does very well, essentially. It just depends on if she keeps getting actives. If she gets lots of actives off, she's good. If she's not getting actives off, she's struggling for damage, but she can still tank and she can still survive Vivian marks and stuff like that. Her heals a little bit less. She also gets attacked. She heals herself, so she probably didn't get attacked as much, so her heals aren't as high. So that happens as well. We're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna slow it down, as that fight was kind of fast. Okay, so our Mika gets an active round 1. That's great. Got some nice damage. We got a taunt on the Vivian. None on the nefs, though. That's kind of wanted on the nefs. Ooh, one of our girls died. See, we're gonna get into now. We should get the blast. We should be able to get crits. Get another active from her. We should. This round right here. Oh, that was so slow. I thought the game was gonna bug out. Oh wait, is she gonna get hit? Oh no, no active. See, that's another thing with her. She's not gonna get much damage because Pate's in the meta and she's stripping energy. Same with Vivian does, so it's kind of hard for her to get her actives off. See, she critted right there because she's past the third round. We get an active. Should do some decent damage this coming turn. We got to wait. She's a little slower. Some good damage. Got rid of one F. Now we're just working on the last one. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, wait, look, I healed. Oh, all right, never mind. We're not done. Pate just didn't want to die. She just wanted to stay alive. All right, so a lot better damage here. We got 2 actives off. I don't think the last fight we got this many actives off. And heals are about the same. She usually gets between 10 million and 20 million heals on herself, so it's not bad. Plus, other girls in the meta heal as well, so it's not as great as healing as other things, but she's still healing herself. So combining that with other girls that heal keeps her alive for even longer than normal. So it's great to get her to survive. I've seen her survive through double Vivian marks before on testing with her. But the combination of girls obviously on your team because everything works together and synergizes. But the fact that you have a girl that can heal herself and then also being healed by other girls, getting extra heals, can help her survive even longer, which taking those marks and being able to just tank through them is very, very good. All right, next up we're going to do Luke. Luke has a Fenrir. So we're going to probably switch out one of these, and we're just going to put another Neff in for us to make it somewhat similar. The only difference is that we're not running Fenrir, we're running Mika, essentially, if that makes sense. All right. Oh, see, we got Vivian mark on her. That's great. We can... Okay, so we get an active off. That's great right there, right off the bat. Hopefully we get some taunts. It's a 50% chance. No taunts. Did some decent damage, though. See, everyone's pretty far. She's got double mark on her right now. So, if she can survive to the end of the round and heal, see, she's still alive. Usually girls that are double marked like that at the end of the round with that low of a health are going to die. Because the 2 Neffs are doing damage. Get some heals. See, she's still alive. Well, there's only one Vivian left now, but the fact that she survived usually those 2 marks, and when you end a round, a girl has that on them, and there's 2 Neffs on your team, they're doing all that damage. They usually kills your Mika off. Now she's dead. That's understandable. She did her purpose though. She tanked all that damage from those double Vivian marks, which is great. That's what we want because she was able to take all that damage instead of the other girls, which gives you the chance to win. It's about a team effort here, guys. Even though she's not here anymore, shining, she did her job, and she's going to most likely give us the win. It's just going to take a couple extra rounds. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. We get a double Vivian mark. That's great. That's a great tool to utilize her for. I don't know if she can survive triple, though, as easily as she does double, but that's still getting to have it on her, and she can survive. See, she did a lot of damage this time. The heals obviously weren't as much because she wasn't really getting attacked. She was just taking damage from the Vivian marks, but because she does heal at the first 2 rounds by herself at the end of round 3 times, and she was getting heals from the Vivians, she's able to survive that double Vivian mark a little bit, get some damage off, while taking out one of their Vivians. She's still alive. That's very, very huge. We'll do this one more time. See if we can get some more stuff out of her. It was also huge that the Apate didn't strip her of energy. So that is great as well. See that strip? So she's going to be a little bit slower this time. She doesn't have a Vivian mark on her, so she's not going to be taking damage that way. So she's probably going to survive this one a lot better. Just going to have to wait and see how it turns out. All right, let's hope that the Apate doesn't attack the Mika. Mika's probably going to die here because of the Nephilim mark. I'm not going to lie. Oh, no, because she doesn't have an active because it got stripped because of Vivian's passive. We're not doing very good. I don't think we have Vivian actives. That's why we got some now. Get some heals in. Heal up a little bit. Can we get a Mika active here? This has been kind of a shitty fight for her. We get an active off. That's some huge damage. Remember, it attacks backline enemies. So that was great. The reason they didn't die is because they had shields, so they survived from shields. But we still proc the shields. That's good. Of course, Fenrir is still alive because she's Fenrir. We just need some Vivian marks on her. There we go. There's one. That should be over. So, as we see, she didn't have many actives. Her damage is a little bit less than last time. But she did very well and helped damage the girls breaking the shield, staying alive. Obviously, our Nefs did well as always. The Apate. Fenrir, of course, is just Fenrir. We all know that she's just bonkers, depending on what teams are against. Heals seems normal. 10 million to 20 million is normal heals usually. And, of course, these girls are healing as well. So, the takeaway from this, sorry, Mika's very good at taking damage and targeting it at herself and surviving through it. So, if you're having trouble with your girls just dying really fastly because they're just targeting your other girls and are taking the damage, Mika might be able to help with that, being able to survive through Vivian marks and just being able to tank lots of damage. Now, if you're still having more problems with it, you could try a speed tank build, or you can just try a straight tank build with like HP or something to try and survive even longer. And just trying to get everything to target your Mika and let your other girls do the work kind of thing, you know. But she has the potential of staying alive a lot longer and dealing lots of damage. Just depends on your builder. If you want to build a little bit of a tank with a little bit of attack with damage, that's a good balance. You could also go for the speed build, try and get the taunts on her with lots of HP, and try and do it that way. But at the end of the day, it just depends on your account, your cluster, and what you want to do. So as I say this, you're ending the video, take everything I say as a grain of salt. And it's opinions, but do your own testing if you have her. So would I recommend her? Yes, you recommend her. She's great. She's great to build. She helps out a lot. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today's video. And I just want to say, be safe out there. It's a crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.